Hey guys, it's Holly from The Run Experience. Today I'm going to tell you how to taper before a race, what that last week looks like before that race, depending on the distance and everything like that. We'll get into the details on what you need to know. Guys, as runners, tapering tends to be one of our favorite conversations to have. As far as when to get ready for that race, how long it lasts, details, what works for you, what doesn't. But the main thing to remember is why you're tapering in the first place. So I want to just go over a couple reasons why you actually allot 1 week typically to get ready for that race, to go through all the details, smooth out all the edges before you get to race day. So the main thing is getting that body ready. You want to be in a position on race day where you're feeling your absolute best, you're feeling sharp, your body's remembering what it needs to do. The training's in the books at that point, but you want to make sure that those last details don't get missed as you lead up to that last race, or that last day of the week. So getting the body ready, making sure you feel good. The other reason is you want to make sure that all this hard work for the last 8 or 16 weeks or whatever you've done is worth it, and actually everything plays out at the end the way you want it to. You don't want that work to get lost because you didn't rest properly, hydrate correctly, nutrition, all that stuff dialed in, as well as get those workouts in sporadically, but definitely in during that week. So you want to make sure you're getting everything sharp and ready, but the main point of tapering is to take that extra time to fine-tune everything and make sure that you show up to race day ready to go. Guys, so when we get to that last week, the tapering week, the biggest thing to remember is you don't want to change up your routine so drastically that everything feels different. Every single day feels like a different new workout you've never seen before. You definitely don't want that. You just want to dial the volume back from your normal training routine. So you want to keep the same kinds of workouts, the same frequency, but just dialing back about 30 to 50% less than you're used to doing. So great time for drills, small workouts, moving for 30 to 60 seconds at a time. Really fine-tuning the pulling, the kind of foot strike you want, the stride, everything in between. You want to use this time to get moving, get sweating, but in a smaller chunk of time than you're used to. As you guys know, when a lot of you do your long runs on a Saturday or a Sunday, you have that whole week of workouts having come before it, and you definitely feel that on your legs. We don't want you to get to race day feeling that same way. So cutting back this volume will be huge for that. The other thing you want to do is pick, are you going to have one solid rest day, maybe 2 days before the race, whatever, it depends on if you're traveling or something like that. You're not always given the choice, but for me personally, I like to at least pick one day, usually 2 days before the race, where I do nothing. I mobilize, get some stretching in, but I don't do any sweating or workout that day. And then I really feel like that day before the race, I can do a quick little run, get everything moving, and then the race the next day. Everyone's different, and it's a good idea to play with these things. So pick some shorter race or a 5K or something and play with what works before and what doesn't, what you feel good doing. Again, everyone's muscles recover differently, especially based on your training plan. So first half of the week, stick to your normal routine, get some workouts in, get sweating each day, make sure you're really sharp on looking at your movement, those last few things. If anything's hurting, really spending the time to mobilize there. And then the last 3 days of the week, really deciding, am I gonna not do anything today? Super work on my hydration, get ahead of the game there, mobilize and everything, and then get that last little workout in the day before to just kind of dial that body in so it's ready to go on race day. That's what that last week looks like. So guys, outside of the training and workouts themselves, getting that body prepped physically, you also have complete control over what you're eating, what you're drinking, and how often you're resting in that week leading up to the race. Some of you will be traveling, so taking into account you'll be driving or flying, and that's some factors to take into as well as far as planning goes. But as far as what you're eating and drinking in those final days leading up, the biggest thing to remember is that making a big change right before your race is never the move. So if you've already dialed in your nutrition over your training plan, you've been doing these long runs every single weekend, you know what works and what doesn't as far as what to eat the night before, the morning of, all of that. So trust yourself, trust what you've worked on before. No need to change anything or up the calories a huge amount because it's going to make you feel a little out of whack. You're not going to feel like yourself on race day. So don't change too much on the nutrition side of things, but definitely do what works. As far as hydration, you can't drink enough water in the days leading up to your race. Really important to just constantly keep that. It's always a water bottle by your side at that point. You never want to get behind because it's super hard to come out of that race morning. So water all the time. Again, if you're flying, those altitude changes and everything, you're going to want to get ahead of that game. You don't want to have a headache the couple days before your race. That's never fun. So hydration and nutrition, that's what you want to dial in there. As far as rest goes, taking into account that your muscles may be a little smashed up when you've gotten out of the car for so many hours, or the plane seat, or whatever it is. So allotting that extra time to warm up and mobilize as soon as you get back to your hotel or whatever it is. And then of course getting plenty of sleep. Sleep as much as you can that week. Again, nothing too drastic from what you are normally doing, but you want to feel top-notch that race morning, so that's something you can control for sure. So get those things dialed in, get those workouts followed through like you like, and you should show up perfect on race day. Guys, if you're looking for more ways to mix up your training, get some new workouts in, some new ways to mobilize, prevent injury, that kind of stuff, we have a 2-week quick start program. It's totally free. All you have to do is put in your name and email. We send you that 2-week program, super easy to use and follow along with. You can click the link down in the description or at the end of this video to get that. If you liked this video, want to find out more about tapering, that kind of stuff, make sure you hit that like button and write down in the comments to us. We love hearing you guys, what you liked and didn't like, what we can tell you more about, all that stuff with training. And lastly, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're putting out new videos all the time. We want you guys to see them, so make sure you hit that button. I think that's all we got for you today. We will see you in the next video.